Hello everyone, welcome back to Easy Education London, and in this video we are looking at the AQA English Language Paper 1 for the GCSEs, and we are in fact going through the full walkthrough and providing you with some top tips on how to ace the questions and also how to maximize your marks for each individual question. So let's get started. So as you can see, the paper, you'll be provided with one insert. This is because it's paper 1, and remember it's going to be a fiction text. Okay, so as you can see from here, it will be a 21st century prose fiction, for example. Okay, and so what you need to do within the first 5, 10, 15 minutes is ensure that you're reading the text and annotating. Okay, I see many students, they just read it and they're not underlining, they're not highlighting, they're not making notes on the side. So what you want to be doing is, as you read, you highlight and you make notes of keywords, key phrases, etc., and you label what it represents. For example, this is that, etc. Okay, so what you need to do within the first 5-10 minutes is identify things for language, but also you need to find things for structure. Okay, very important. So that all falls under AO2, Assessment Objective 2. So your insert should be peppered with annotation. So why do I recommend this? It's because if you are able to provide in detailed annotations or in-depth annotations, you'll find it easy to answer the question because you have a lot to talk about. And the more details you answer, the more points you make. The more points you make, the higher your marks for that question. It's as simple as that. And then question number 1 is always the easiest question, and it's worth 4 marks. So what do you have to do here? You simply have to list 4 things from a specific line or from specific lines. So for example here, if it's from lines 1 to 4. So you do not have to annotate or analyze or evaluate, nothing like that. Please keep it simple, okay? So you can write simple sentences to get the marks, okay? And in terms of your marks, like I said, spend around 2, 3, up to 4 minutes on this question. Question 2 is all about language analysis. So you need to look at how does the writer use language to convey, for example here, Mr. Fisher's views on books and stories of the past. And as you can see here, they have already given you a snapshot of the lines that you need to look at. So you already know that your quotations will actually come from this particular section. And you could include the writer's choice of words and phrases, language features and techniques, and sentence forms. So here, you may have heard of different acronyms or various acronyms. So for example, you may want to use PETAL, which stands for Point, Evidence, Technique, Analysis, and Link. So you could use this simple acronym to help you analyze language for effect. Now, it is 8 marks, so you are looking to write 2 to 3 petal paragraphs. Okay, so that's just an estimate. You can write more, you can write less, but as long as you're mentioning how language is used for effect. Okay, remember the examiner is focusing on your quality, okay, not the quantity, but the quality of your writing. And what my top tip to you all is always provide in-depth analysis, and don't only just think about the explicit, the obvious. Think about the implicit. Can you provide can you look at the quote with an alternative interpretation? So can you think about it from outside the box? Can you look at it? Can you perceive it from a different angle? Because if you can, that demonstrates to the examiner you have shown perceptive understanding and you are familiar of how the writer has used language for effect. So that's question number 2. Question number 3 is all about structure. So very important. For some reason, I find it peculiar is that she didn't struggle with this question. It's not that difficult at all. So it's all about structure. So how is the text organized from the beginning to the middle to the end? So we need to look at how and why the writer changes this focus. And if you are able to find any other structural features that you find interesting, you should mention that here as well. So it's all about how the text is organized. So you could, for example, just to give you an idea, You could be looking at how the writer uses foreshadowing. They could, for example, use a flashback. So these are just some structural features for you to explore in further detail that could interest you as a reader. Remember, this question is all about the reader, not the writer. Okay, so focus on the reader and how is it interesting for the reader? That's something for you to consider. Again, as it's 8 marks, you should spend around 8 to 10 minutes on this question. And like I said, as it's the whole of the source, ideally, you want to be providing a range of quotes from the beginning, middle, and end so that you can show the examiner. I have shown an in-depth understanding of how structure is used for effect. Now, if you do want to see model answers of these questions, do check out our YouTube channel, go through our playlist, and you'll find many examples of model answers for each individual question. So that's question number 3. Moving on to question number 4. So question 4 is the last and final question for section A, which is super important as it's the evaluation question. So they have already told us here that it is in fact specific lines from lines 25 to the end, and it's worth a massive 20 marks. So you all will be provided with a statement, as you can see, but you will be asked to what extent do you agree. Okay, so you could agree with it partially. There could potentially be a counter, but if you have a counter argument, please provide evidence, because here you want to show how successful and how accurate this statement really is. Now, if you want to show the statement as being accurate and why you agree, show it through the methods. How does the writer do this? So, as you can see here, evaluate how the writers convey Mr. Fisher's reactions, and also consider your own impressions. So what impressions you have of this character? You need to again provide evidence, and the how here, I just wanted to mention, is through the writer's methods. So that's language and structure. Okay, so I'm just simplifying everything for you in this video so that you all are aware. And remember, you need to look at how language and structure is used to show that the student statement is accurate. Okay, and remember this is almost like a mini essay. It's a detailed evaluation, so please do not skip this question, as it's worth 20 marks, and that's literally 50% of your section A. So you definitely need more practice for your question 4 evaluation. And last but not least is your question 5, which is your section B writing, and it's worth a massive 40 marks. This is personally my favorite part of the exam, and it's the part I actually enjoy teaching. So you will have an option of 2 questions. It could be, for example, to write a description or based on a picture. So as you can see, a picture of a man, and you will get 45 minutes for this question. Or is to write a story about a time when things turned out unexpectedly. So it's completely up to you which one you want to choose, but you are advised to plan your answer. So when you are planning your answer, straight away think about your 5 senses and think about your 5 W's. Okay, and some top tips, some things that you want to do to impress the examiner. So I'm just going to go on green, is you want to use show, not tell. Very important. So do not say, she was angry. Okay, that's telling us, that's boring. You want to make your writing evocative, so show it. For example, instead of saying she was angry, you could say she clenched her fists, stomped across the room, and slammed the door behind her, right? So that's more evocative, that's more powerful, because you can almost imagine it in your mind. You're not telling us she's angry, you're showing it. So try your best to continuously use show, not tell. Secondly, ambitious vocabulary. So do not just use it once, you have to continuously show the examiner, I know how to use ambitious vocabulary. Now, that doesn't mean every other word is a highly descriptive word, but you just need to make ensure that you are using it continuously. Another important one is using a range of language and structural devices. So I'm sure you all are aware, you need to be able to use language devices, for example, your metaphors, your personification, your emotive language, your similes, etc. But importantly, to those of you going for the top marks, which hopefully is everyone here, is you need to be able to use structure as well. A good story or a fantastic narrative will not only successfully use language devices, but they will equally spend time in having a nice fluent structure, a structure that flows from the beginning, from the exposition, all the way to the denouement. So please make sure you work on how you can implement various structural devices to hook the reader and essentially achieve top marks. And also SPAG, I just wanted to mention the last and final point very quickly. Your spelling, I'm sure, is quite obvious. You need to make sure your spelling is accurate throughout your answer. Your punctuation, please ensure you are using a variety of punctuation. So not just your full stops and commas, but also your colons, your semicolons, your brackets, your hyphens and your dashes. If you are unsure of how to use them or you're confused, please check out our YouTube channel. In fact, you can go onto the Year 6 SATs playlist where you can go through these short and easy videos just to recap and review how to use punctuation correctly. And also your grammar, please make sure you are checking your grammar, checking your syntax, that everything sounds clear, everything sounds impressive, because again, your SPAG is super important as it's worth 16 marks, your technical accuracy for AO6. So this is literally everything you need to know. It's a very quick walkthrough for your paper 1 for English language. So I have done a full answer for these individual questions. So if you do want to check this out, please head over to our channel and go through the playlist, and you'll be able to find model answers and full walkthroughs for paper 1 and paper 2. So we have a variety and array of videos for you to watch and revise from. And this was done purely because we have received requests from subscribers to create a simplified walkthrough for language paper 1. Now, if there are anything, or if there's anything else you'd like us to create, please do let us know on the comment section below, as we are trying to grow the channel. Your support is much appreciated. I would highly appreciate if you share it with your friends and family, as it helps the channel grow. And if you are interested in joining our online tuition, do contact our website at www.easyeducationlondon.com, or alternatively contact our email, which is easyeducationlondon@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Easy Education London. Other than that, thank you all for watching. Please subscribe, like and share for more. Thank you.